What's up, YouTube? I'm Robert, and you're watching the B1KER Bar Podcast. You know, when you offered to send me one at first, I was like, we don't need that. You don't need to do that for us just to talk. But I'm really glad that you did, because it definitely changed my perception. And I'll tell you, I'm not like against changing things, but I'm like, also I'm lazy, you know? So it's like, the shifter seems like it's doing all right to me.
Yeah.
You know, like, let me tell you, I have DI2 on my cross bike, and I've definitely forgotten to charge that a few times.
Yeah.
And fortunately, I ride mostly in Sacramento, where it's flat as hell. So like a single speed really isn't that big of a deal. But like, if I'm in Tahoe and I'm at like 10,000 feet of elevation, it's going to be a shitty day if my derailleur stops working, you know? I forget where the hell I was going with that, but anyways, you mentioned the speed, and that's where I was going. So there's two things that, like, to me, when I saw pictures of it, I really didn't care for the way that the remote looked, like, aesthetically. And then I felt like, those buttons are next to each other. It's like so different, like muscle memory wise, of like where I'm putting my thumb to shift gears. There was that. And then, something else that I just forgot about a second ago. Then the other thing was the speed. Was like, is this going to be fast enough to like dump through gears?
Yeah.
And I'll tell you, when I put it on the bike, it actually looked better in person than it did like in pictures, as far as the remote, you know?
I mean, you say the same thing about me, man.
Yeah, right.
Camera.
So that was one thing right away. I was like, it actually doesn't look that bad, you know? And not that
that's what we're going for, man.
Right?
We don't look bad.
I apologize, but like, to me, you know what I'm saying. Like, you're used to a certain thing. No, it's all good, dude. I'll take it. I'll take that one. I'm sure it won't be the last time I say something stupid. So, anyways, there was that aspect of it, and then whenever I was shifting, like, there was no like time that it took me to like ramp up to get used to shifting. Like, it was like, okay, there's that button and there's that button, and you know what, the exact same thing still happened when I was climbing. I pushed that button like 16 more times to try to get one more gear higher than the Eagle, and that doesn't work. You know? So like that like was normal. So I was like, okay. And I was, like I said initially, I was thinking that the dumping the gears was what I was worried about, like going down. And I'd say if at all there was a speed thing that I don't know if it was in my head or not. I felt like it was more going up in gears. Like when it's like, oh shit, I'm cranking down this thing, and all of a sudden there's something punchy and I'm trying to get up to like damn close to the Eagle real quick. That was the only time. So I would imagine that your next version is probably based around the speed of shifting.
Yeah, we've got a solid list in the office of, the wish list for what we're gonna do. Speed is, I mean, it's critical, right? Like that's been one of the issues that some folks have had with the product, is that they say, I need to be able to do exactly what you're saying.
Yeah.
Go from gear 4 to gear 1, lickety split, like, come on, let's go. And I mean, I'll concede absolutely that we are not as fast on sequential shifts, on groups of shifts. Did you have the quick shift enabled where you can like press and hold and it goes X number of gears?
Yeah, I did figure that out after the first hour or two in my garage, and it didn't come to me right away, but then I read something somewhere. I was like, oh, that's cool. But I feel like even whenever I'm on, or at least when I was riding, like when those moments would come, like my brain wouldn't say push this in and just hold it. It would say just hit that button like 75
match.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, for sure.
So
no, I think speed's critical. Durability, longevity, like I think all of those things are the core improvements that we're trying to make on the next version. But then there's other ideas of, like, how can we link this into GPS? How can we link this into Strava? How can we have some kind of interface to easier charging, like the batteries? We love that they're non-proprietary, but we hear from people every day that they want to just charge the damn thing with a cradle or USB. And so,
yeah, it would be nice if there was just a plug on the remote and the shifter. you like that, make sure you check out the full episode. And hey, do me a favor, before you take off, hit the like and subscribe.